Okay, welcome back. Hey, today we're going to be tying a little hopper pattern for you on a Klinkhamer hook. Just tied up a dozen of these. Here's an example. I used different hackle, some different dubbing, make a couple of different looks. Today, this fly is going to be a little ginger, they call that ginger grizzly hackle from Sideline Hill. Will be on this one here. What I have in the vise is a Klinkhamer size 14. Thread is 70 denier Danville. Start the thread on, wrap it back, top of the bend of the hook. Bring her back a couple wraps. Go ahead and cut away that tag end. Perk your thread right about there, about three eye lengths back. What I have in the stacker is some of this olive deer hair. About a pencil's width to start with. Thin it out, take all the fluff out of it. Let you get everything stacked. Mostly you got a couple real long ones there, huh? Let's take those out. Here we go. Now we're going to cut the butt ends. Tell you what, I'm going to drag my comb through it. Looks like there's some extra fluff in there. Here we go. Let's get that fluff out. Look how much fluff was in there. Must have forgot to comb it before I put it in the stacker. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and cut the butt ends to length. Now they're all pretty well evened up into the length we need it. Boy, a lot of fluff. Jeez. Lay the deer hair right on the hook, right behind the eye. If you set the deer hair down, and you can just fill the eye, you're doing pretty good. Take a loose wrap. Second loose wrap. Still fill that eye. Tighten it up. Wrap it up through, toward the eye. Wrap it back now a couple of times. Up through again. Take it back to the starting point. And then back into the bend of the hook. A couple of times. And then back up to where you started at. Take your... Give that a couple more wraps in there. Secure that just a little better. It was rolling on me. We don't want it rolling. Here we go. Now you want to go ahead and take your whip finish tool. We'll tie it off pretty quick here. Cut away your thread. Take it out of the vise. We're going to cut away all these little butt ends here. Take it right over top of my little waste can here. Got a little waste right in front of me. Trim it up. Don't need deer hair everywhere. One thing about deer hair, it is messy. Sticks to you. Okay, got it all trimmed up. Now we're going to take a medium-sized sewing needle. This one here, I have a larger one, smaller one, depending on the fly that I'm tying. This is kind of my medium one here. Stick it in your vise, clamp it down so it's in there pretty good. Take that fly, put it right on the tip of the needle. roll it on there a little bit. Now you're going to take your thread, you're going to start it right back on, right where your last thread wrap was, and you just wrap in behind the bend of the hook. Now you're going to jump back, 1 turn, 2 turns, then several wraps over the same turn. Again, grab all that deer hair, 1 turn, 2 turns, several wraps, and 1 more time. 1 turn, 2 turns, and several wraps. And that's, let's see, can we get 1 more in there? We can. Let's go, 1 more. 1 turn, 2 turns, and several wraps. Here we go. That'll be the end of the fly. Now we're going to bring it back forward, crossing over that middle section, a couple wraps, another section, couple wraps, same thing, cross over that section, couple wraps, and 1 more time, couple wraps. Let's go ahead and tie it off with your whip finish tool. Pull it tight, cut it away. Take your tag in, let's cut that away. Got a couple that didn't make it here, let's cut that up. Alright, now very important, when you pull this fly off the needle, don't pull it here, pull it all the way to the very back. A lot of pressure, slide it off. That way it doesn't have a chance of coming apart on you. Put the fly back in the vise. Clamp it down nice and tight. Let's start the thread back on. Right about the middle segment there, or I'll tell you what to be like the forward segment, huh? Couple of wraps. Let's go ahead and cut away that tag end. Oops. Thread out of there. Bring that back to right under the bend of the hook. Before we do anything else, we're going to take a little bit of super glue. We're going to add it to the very back thread wrap. And just be mindful, don't be touching that for the next few moments, or you get some sticky fingers. Alright, now we're going to add our last set of legs. I had a whole cup full here to begin with. Now I'm down to my last 2. First one we're going to add to my side. Just a nice little gentle wrap. Figure about how long do we need it. Second one on your side. Rolled on me. Let's do that again. Try not to touch that super glue yet. Alright, we got 2 legs. Let's take the thread up a couple turns, make sure everything's secured. Cut away the excess. Alright, now we're going to add a post. What I'm going to use for a post is this EP fibers. This is the original fibers. I'm going to cut off about 3 inches of it. Get all the stragglies out of here. We don't need those stragglies. Wow. Alright, this will be the post. A little too thick. Let's thin it out a little bit. So we're going to double it over. That should be good. Right where you perk your thread, about halfway between where the legs start and the eye of the hook, we'll add the post. Give it a wrap. Couple wraps. Take your thread up and over. Start wrapping your post up. A couple good thread wraps as a base. Fine if I pull a little extra thread out. It's a little easier to do it. Wrap it up. Oops. Almost there. Just give it a couple more. And we'll go back down again. Alright, now we're going to add a piece of hackle. Hackle I'm using is this little ginger grizzly. I'm going to tie it in with the shiny side facing me. Cut away this straggly here. Shiny side facing me. Going to do the first wrap in front of it. Do a couple wraps. Pull it to length. Hold it. Tie it off. That wrapped, it spun on me a little bit. May have to undo it, but let's see if it's going to do what I need it to do. I want it to, when I tie it on there, I want it to go shiny side up. And it probably won't. Nope, I gotta redo it. Sorry about that. Let's try that again. Only making this video longer than it needs to be. Alright. Go ahead and tie it in. We'll do this side first. Then we'll do this side. Shorten my thread up, maybe that's the problem. Here we go. Couple wraps. Hold that up. There we go. If you don't succeed at first, try again, huh? Alright. Just got away that tag end or the little stem there. Just going to work out. That's going to work out now. Now we're going to add some of this dubbing. Dubbing we're going to add this time is some brown dubbing out of the super bright all-purpose dubbing box. Just a little bit to start with. Oh, I got some black too. Don't want to do that. I'm going to add a little bit of wax to the thread. Loosen my fingers just a little bit. What a nice tight noodle on there. Let's wrap it back to start with. Up and over the legs. I'm going to put a little more on there. Let's go in front. I'm going to get that doubling out of that box here. There we go. Alright. I'm going to get one more. Just a little bit more on there. Got some bare thread showing there. Don't want it that. Okay. How's that look? These are going to represent some legs. We're going to pick it out a little bit. Now we're going to start wrapping the hackle. And knot the EP fibers downward. Couple of turns. Kind of running out of hackle. Go one more wrap. Should be good. Go ahead, capture that. Pull that hackle up. Tie it off. Hackle big enough you can manhandle it. Won't hurt it. And a couple more wraps here. Make sure everything's good and secure. Alright. Let's go ahead, let's cut this off here. Don't need this anymore. Trim it to length. Now you're going to do a whip finish here with your fingers. Make sure you get all of that in there. Don't trap any hackle. Up and under. Don't trap any hackle. Nice and tight. Okay, to cut it away now. Cut away this other piece of hackle. The very tip. One piece there. Alright, how does that look? Looks pretty good. Let's get some super glue in there to hold it. How long is my video getting? Almost 20 minutes. Okay, take your bodkin up, or take your bodkin, dip it in some super glue. Keep those threads nice and secure while the fly is upside down. Let's take a little bit on that thread wrap. Work your way back. That way it is good and secure. Get a big old toothy brown trout. Come up for it. It won't tear it up. A couple extra drops on right at the base of the hook here. And there you go. Got yourself a little hopper fly pattern. Kind of morphed out of my original deer hair inchworm. You can pick these out a little bit, make them some legs. There you go. Hope you like my flies. Hope you like this tie. If you do, give me a like, give me a subscribe. And tie one up, take it fishing. I've actually used this not last year. I didn't get very out fishing very much last year, but I've used it before. Caught a lot of rising trout on it. It's a nice little searcher pattern when you don't know what they're looking for. All right, cheers. Stay safe. I'll see you next time.